And for a reaction to today's top stories, here with us now is Republican Congressman from Indiana, Marlin Stutzman, also a member of the House Financial Services Committee. Congressman, welcome back. Good morning.
Good morning, Hannah. Great to be with you this morning.
Great to have you, sir. Third incident near the White House and the president in just the last month. That's disturbing when you hear those staggering numbers. Is security doing enough to protect the president?
Well, they are, and they're doing the best they can.
Yeah.
Obviously, there's a lot of emotion out there right now that's generating these people that are just being, going over the edge and thinking that they're going to go try to kill the president. I was at the White House Correspondents' Dinner with many of you all, and, we were right inside the door from where the shooting happened. And the Secret Service just immediately went into action. It's so hard to try to stop just this one, lone wolf that tries to take shots at the president themselves. Of course, I know exactly where this was at outside of the White House. Thankfully, no civilians were injured. And thankfully, of course, no one inside the White House was killed either.
The president did take to Truth Social to thank Secret Service members, remind Americans about the need for the ballroom. But as you well know, Congressman, Democrats are making it very clear they're opposed to the project. I want to play a little bit of what Dems are saying, Chuck Schumer specifically, I believe.
If ballroom funding doesn't make it into the Republican bill, it's not because of a Republican conscience. It's because Democrats stopped them. They tried to sneak it in. They were caught red-handed. Oh, it's only for security. It's only for this. It's only for that. They're stuck. No one wants the ballroom except Donald Trump.
All right, you're hearing from the Senate Minority Leader. Congressman, you were with NewsNation at the White House Correspondents' Dinner. You were feet away from that shooting. Is the ballroom needed? Are more security protocols needed?
Yeah, that was there with Kelly Meyer and others there from NewsNation. And I would say, this should be a bipartisan effort to support a room that's capable of holding, a big event like the White House Correspondents' Dinner, and to keep the executive and others safe, not just the president, but the people that are there around the president. Thankfully, no one was killed or injured at that dinner. But, if this was President Barack Obama or President Joe Biden, I think we should all come together and say, look, we need a place close to the White House for security purposes where, foreign diplomats or American citizens that are there for a special event at the White House, and actually, more people could experience the White House experience if we had a place to hold them. The East Wing is a very small room. It can be used for state dinners, but a bigger ballroom would be, I think, ideal for the American people and ultimately for our president for generations to come.
All right, sir, let's head overseas. The conflict in Iran, the president revealing progress has been made towards a deal. We have seen the negotiations fall just right before the finish line, just collapse right before. Do you think this will make it?
Well, again, the IRGC and the Iranian regime is so difficult to negotiate with because, they say one thing and they do another. And that's why it's just, important to be sure that whatever we have, we hold them accountable. I think the trip to China was really an important piece to all of this. Of course, the president's working with the Pakistanis and other countries in the Middle East. I don't think 10 years ago you'd have been able to pull the UAE, Saudi Arabia, Qatar, and other countries together to help put pressure on Iran and help to find a way forward to be sure that the Strait of Hormuz is controlled by an international coalition and not just the Iranians. So I think the president is doing a very good job. At the end of the day, we have to watch their actions more than anything. And but with the Chinese saying that they can't have a nuclear weapon and that the Strait of Hormuz needs to be open and secure as quickly as possible, this is putting a lot of pressure on China as well as European countries. So I know they're close to a deal, but ultimately they cannot have a nuclear weapon and they ultimately cannot control the Strait of Hormuz all by themselves.
Congressman, I want to read a post from your Republican colleagues, Senators Lindsey Graham and Roger Wicker. They're pushing back. Senator Graham wrote this on X. I'm just going to read it for our viewers. If a deal is struck to end the Iranian conflict because it is believed that the Strait of Hormuz cannot be protected from Iranian terrorism and Iran still possesses the capability to destroy major Gulf oil infrastructure, then Iran will be perceived as being a dominant force requiring a diplomatic solution. Sir, is this a valid concern?
Yes, it absolutely is. And, that's one of the things that we want to see. I want to see a new government in Iran. I don't want to see the IRGC in control of Iran. The Iranian people have suffered long enough. The IRGC, they are true believers. It looks like there's some reports that maybe the military in Iran, which acts more like the National Guard, is starting to push back on the IRGC. My hope and prayer is for the Iranian people. They can somehow push the IRGC out of power. That would be huge for the Middle East and for the world at large, because Iran cannot be the leading state sponsor of terrorism. And so I think that Senator Graham is correct. There needs to be the ability to, be sure they cannot continue to disrupt not only the Strait of Hormuz, but other parts of the Middle East and the world at large.
The president is also saying the Strait of Hormuz will reopen if that happens. And I have no doubt you anticipated this question because we get it so much from our viewers. When can Americans expect gas prices to go down?
Well, I think as soon as there's stability, and one of the things that's happening, a lot of gas and oil buyers are realizing, oh, I can't get gas and oil out of the Persian Gulf anymore, so they're going to other places. That's going to actually bring us more sales. The Venezuela situation, that's being sped up more, quickly because they want to take advantage of this situation and get gas and oil online. I believe by midsummer we're going to start seeing gas prices down to what we were used to, down below $2. Thankfully, here in Indiana, we've got a balanced budget, and our governor, Governor Braun, was able to suspend the gas taxes. So we're back down below $4 now. And but I think the more that we hear news that there's going to be stability and a deal done, that'll help take the speculation out of the market that there'll be further disruptions through the Strait of Hormuz, and we'll get that gas and oil back into the global market to bring prices back down.
All right, thank you for that, sir. On a lighter note, speaking of travel, I know you're heading to Indy 500. Have a great time. Safe travels, Congressman Marlin Stutzman. We always appreciate your time. Thank you.
Thank you, Hannah. Great to be with you this morning.
Always good to have you, sir.